Hello coders, good afternoon. It's the new scheduled stream. I'm even 6 minutes late. I do apologize. Just trying to set all of the OBS scenes up, which I thought I had set up, but I called the I called the Twitch profile YouTube and the YouTube profile Twitch, so then nothing worked. Anyway, we're getting into the second part of this Stripe integration stuff. I'm learning this as I go, so, I'm going to make a lot of mistakes. And, yeah, let's put on some tunes. And let's get cracking. So, something that I did last night. Did that scene change? Did that scene change? Yes, it did. Awesome. Okay. And it changed to the right one. That's good. Okay, so what I did last night is I made some changes to how the checkout page works. So I've discovered the issue I had with that client reference ID, which is this one here. I wasn't getting the right value, so that's the value now. So that's passed to the checkout session. We're still saving it as a session, although really there isn't much need at the moment. And then we save the we save the order summary. Oh, sorry, no, that isn't the session. We set that against the order summary entity. There we go. So I'm trying to context switch. I've had a busy day today. So order summary, and then we save and flush that checkout session. There we go. That's the ID of the checkout session. So this makes a request to Stripe, and then we get a session ID back, and we save that. There we go. Yes, that is correct. That is correct. Now, something that is a bit weird is that I'm sure I got all this working whenever I did the last stream. I can't remember what that was. And I thought I had more event types coming through, but actually there isn't. There's only that payment succeeded. So I just want to run another test and see what comes back. I've got a feeling I'm looking for the wrong event type, because I'm looking for invoice paid, and I think it needs to be payment succeeded, I believe. So I just want to run that through and just try that out. So we'll go back to the home page here. It's a really hot day today, which is nice. This morning I went for a nice 3-mile run with Murphy, which was nice. It wasn't as warm. Okay, so we're going to click on one of these things. This is the test site, obviously. That's why the images don't look right. And then we click on Watch Course, and then we will go to monthly. And essentially, what I want to do is, yeah, that needs to be fixed. I tell you what, I said this last time. I am going to create a GitHub issue for this. Just because I keep saying I'm going to fix it, but I don't actually put anything down to fix it. It's a bug, and it is a code issue. So what's happening with that, excuse me, is it's a session issue. So I need to clear the session once after successful order. Let's just put that down here. So message shown is this. Oops, wrong button. There we go. And that's showing on the register page, right? Yeah, it is. Okay. Register page shows success. Shows, sorry, old success message. Okay, so clear the session after successful order. I think that'll do it. We'll just assign that again to myself, and we'll put the labels on as a bug. Is there any other labels that I could look at? No, that's fine. And obviously this is this project, and we'll put the milestone in as Q2. Why is Q3 past due date by 20 days? That's not set up correctly. Odd. Yeah, lol. All right, so I'll get to that when I can. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just create a user. So we're going to do test A, and we'll do 1904. It's my birthday tomorrow. Nuts, isn't it? Copy, paste, and we'll do testing dot how to code well.net, and we'll use that as the password, and we'll register. Essentially, I just want to see what comes back, because I'm listening to the requests here, and I've got I should have the logs running here, tail -f, var log, and devlog. There we go. So, okay, so we're at the checkout. Now, obviously, this needs to be tied up, of course. Let's hit the checkout button. So this is sending the user to Stripe. There we go. Now, I believe something should have been sent anyway at this stage. I think. Or maybe not. Okay, I thought something got sent, but obviously not. Let's put in all the things. And hit subscribe, and then on the right hand side you should see a bunch of stuff being fired through, and whilst that goes off, we should also see a bunch of things going on here, apparently. Come on. Okay, there we go. Why though? Okay, interesting. That's so weird. Why do I only have one? Have I stopped listening to this? I might have to do that again. Right, listen. Okay, that's a new signing secret. Okay. It's so weird that I would have thought. I don't know. Let's do it again. That was weird. Maybe I'm just being a bit too impatient. I don't know. Let's go back. Maybe I'm being too. I'm like I said, I'm still learning this. I would have thought there would be loads coming through here, but no. Let's try it again. This is why e-commerce is so difficult, because you're having to deal with external things and wait for those to come through. Test 19, we'll make one up 04, and that will be for testing dot Oh, don't give me the spinning beach ball of doom. Thank you. Right, let's try this all again. Come on. Come on. Okay. We good? We good. Okay. Just make sure nothing else has come through. No. Okay. Let's hit checkout on this one. Anything coming through? Nope. Anything coming through? Nope. All right, fine. There we go. Hit that. And we wait. Nothing's coming through here. Nothing's yet going through that. I see a whole bunch of stuff being ran in here. The XHR jobs. We get to check out success, but there still isn't anything coming through here. This is very strange. Okay, bear with me. I'm going to have a look at the old Stripe dashboard and see if I can spot anything. I would have thought that we would have got a load of like these requests coming through, and these would have been the events, but it looks like it's not wired up for some reason. What have I've obviously broken something, right? That's the case. I've obviously broken something. Let's go to, let me go over to here, and so this is off stream. So just bear with me. I want to get to the portal. Yes, of course I'm signed out. All right, bear with Mo. Right, I got to play the game of waiting for the text message to come through. Oh, there we go. Good stuff. Right. Anything coming through the logs whilst we wait here? No. Okay. La 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 la. Okay, dokie. Let's go to developers, webhooks. Yes, I can see events. Okay, so I can see that has gone through. I can see that that user has created a new subscription. An invoice has been created, and £20 were paid. The payment for an invoice of £20 has succeeded, and the invoice changed. So I can see all those things, but we seem to... they're failing. Why are they failing? No response in body, all succeeded. Have I messed up something? I probably have. but I don't know what. Oh, this is so frustrating. Right, it just looks like nothing's coming through. This was all working like literally a few days ago. And it was working on Sunday perfectly fine. How weird. Okay, bear with me a second whilst I screw around with what I'm going to do. I tell you what, first thing, let's debug this. All right, let's debug this. First thing I'm going to do is load up Postman. Which I don't think, have I got installed on this Mac? I don't think I do. Aha. Okay, cool. So this is the howtocodewell.local/hook Stripe event. Okay, let's hit send. It's a post request. Can I actually access this endpoint? Does this work? I can see all the stuff coming through. We have an undefined index type. Is this because I haven't actually given a payload on body? Yeah, I haven't given an actual thing, but it's accessing. So I'm guessing there's something wrong with Stripe and how it's configured. Ugh. Thing is, this was working. And what I've done since is I've restarted my machine. So I'm guessing I've missed a step. Let's do Stripe login, which I'm sure I've done. Stripe login. Okay. Oh, this is annoying. Okay, give me a sec. I'm gonna just put in some secret stuff, so bear with me a minute. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Yes. Right. Where's the terminal gone? Where's the old terminal gone? Here we go. Right, now I'm going to do listen. Okay, and then I'm going to just do a quick test at this end. Bear with me a minute whilst I screw around again. Right, let's get the Site up. It's not that one. Right. Okay, I'm going to try it again. All right. I've signed out, signed in. I'm listening again to the webhooks. So we'll give it another shot, I think. This is so annoying. Test 5, 1904. That'll be the email. Codewell.net. Copy that. Good stuff. Grab that, put that in there. Come on. Keep an eye on the logs. That's all good. We're going to hit checkout. Nothing's come through. Okay, let's put this all in again. Okay, and name on the card. Let me just put this back to this view. Okay, I'm just running this through again as a test. Again. For like the third time today. In this. Oh wow, we have. Look at that. We have events coming through now. So I've got a feel. I don't know why. I mean, one thing I did before the stream was, well, I restarted my MacBook, my Mac Mini, which meant that I had to run the Docker. I had to create the Docker machine again, and then I had to run Docker Compose up, obviously, to bring everything up again. But maybe, I don't know, maybe it was that. I don't know. Anywho, let's okay, let's continue down this merry path. We've got a load of stuff that's failed because we're listening. I've got it setting to listen to every single event possible, and we don't need to do that. Once I get this more stable, I'll tune it and tweak it. Okay, so then let's see the queue report, and let's just see what we have now. There we go. See, invoice payment succeeded. We got payment intents and payment paid. Okay. Okay, all right. Let's let's see. I can't remember what I've called these commands. This is the problem when you work on a completely separate project during the day, and then you jump into a stream, and you're like, "What was the thing I was doing last week? What did I call it?" This here. This is the. Let's copy that. This is our little queue processor for the invoice paid. Okay, so we're going to hit that. Aha. Okay, so undefined index client reference ID can't be found. Why? I thought I had set that all up. So this is going to it's going to here, isn't it? This is our neat little processor script. And what's happening is we're looping over the events. We're finding the customer ID from the client reference. Now, we can't find it from the object. I think what I'm going to do is dump out data and just see if it exists, and then and I'm gonna comment out all of that for a minute, and we'll just see. All right. Okay. So, okay. So this is the payload that we get back, that we've serialized, stored into the database, off of the webhook. Okay. So we've got array object, and we have ID. I think that it doesn't actually come back. We've got the customer, that is the Stripe customer. We've got the customer email, which is on our system. And there's, okay, we have our invoice PDF. We have our line items, so we've got lines, object, data. So this is the subscription items. We have our period start and period end. We've got our plan. We've got our price. Status. All right. I think that isn't going to work, is it? Let me just double check something a minute. When we go and do the checkout, what we're doing is we're getting the ID and we're saving that to the session, right? That's off of the back of this. This is the client reference that we get back. Aha, I think what I need to do, I think the client reference gets returned, oops, here. I reckon. And therefore I need to check it here. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense in my head. So let's just double check something a minute. This is not the thing. That's okay. It is session create. Can I find, where did no. Do I have? Nope. How subscriptions work. Stripe reference API. Yeah, let's take that. Plonk it there for a minute. So this is the API. This is the session object. This is the thing I'm doing with a unique reference. This can be, so that's the session object. Do we get the return anywhere? Create a session. That's the, aha, this is it, this is it. This is it, this is what we get back. Now is the client reference in here? It is. Aha, right. There we go. So what I need to do, I see now. I understand what this means. This is for you to check on the return, because it comes back on the return that this is actually the user. So you can do a check here. That makes a lot of sense. So what I'm going to do is if checkout session, and this is going to be, it is in, it's not, it's in the response. So this would be the response. Have we got ID there? We do have ID. Right, okay, cool. So it's in here. If checkout session client reference ID is not equal to, it is the user. So this is user get ID toString, then we have a problem. Then I'm going to do a throw new exception. Invalid customer reference. All right. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So in fact, this doesn't actually get passed into the invoice, obviously. For some reason, I thought it did. Anyway, that's that sorted. So what we can do at this stage is check instead of checking for the client reference that doesn't exist, we can check for the email address. So we have, or a better one is to check the customer. Yeah. Do I get the customer back? I do. I'm wondering if this is the customer of Stripe? I think it is. The ID of the customer for this session. Yeah, I reckon that is the thing. I reckon that. Okay, so I tell you what, just to be 100% doubly sure, I'm going to do this whole thing again, but I'm going to dump out checkout session, because I reckon that is the. I reckon I get a customer ID, because I don't want to. I really don't want to do. I really don't want to do a search by email address, because that's such a weak thing to look for. So I reckon it's something. I reckon it's something in here, right? I reckon what I can do at this stage is I can do user set Stripe customer, and we create a new Stripe customer and put it in there. That's where my head is. So what I'm going to do is just dump out checkout session for a minute, and we'll just kill the script. So this is going to be the Ajax that gets killed. So, okay, I think that's probably a better check. Let's go back over to here, come back into there, and then run this process again. So we're going to click on this, click on watch course, click on monthly again. Gonna put in a username. So in this case, it's a new one. So test 6. I think we're now at 1904. And pass that in as the password. Let's hit register. Let's hit checkout. So what I'm looking for in here, when we hit checkout on the process, I'm looking for, this is going to dump out, or it should do. Can I preview? There we go. I was like, what? Okay, here we go. So we've got, I'm wondering if we've got customer. Oh no, it's null. I was kind of hoping that would be the customer, as in the Stripe customer. Damn it. That's our customer ID. So that's the check that I do to check that the IDs are matching. Oh, that sucks. So there's nothing in here about. There's nothing in here about the customer from their end, is it? Is there? It's just a session. The ID is what we have, which I've stored. I've stored the ID against the order summary on our end. I guess in some cases there will be a customer, in some cases there won't be a customer, because if this was an existing customer, for instance, that would be populated. Yeah, I think then in that case I'm going to have to get the user back from the session instead, which is a pain. Well, it's not a pain, it's just I was kind of hoping that the user would be created already, and then this would only be returned once the user was created. But no. Anyway, we do have this, which we could use. So what that's doing is, so this is irrelevant. What we can do, we're setting the session ID, which is the ID that we've just seen, which is this one. We're setting that to the order summary. Okay, so the order summary is set to the user, I think. So if we go to, yes, because the order summary has already been created at this point. Gotcha. All right, so from this point of view then, instead of, I really don't want to search for a user based on the email address, because that's just not good. So instead, when we get, instead of this, oh wait, hang on a minute. This is so confused. This is just like, oh. That would work for that event, but we're not dealing with this event. We're dealing with the invoice paid event, which is a totally different event to that checkout session. That checkout session won't be on this event. This event only has this, so we don't have the checkout session. Yeah. What we do have is the customer email. I don't want to search for a customer by the email address. That seems so prone to change. Right, maybe there's an event before this. If we had a look at all of the events that get fired off. Now I know that we can't expect all of this to come out in the right order, but customer created is an interesting one to look at. I wonder what's on that event. I guess what I need is, what I would love to have, my ideal is the client reference ID to come back. Let's see, let's have a look at the customer. What am I looking for? I'm looking for, can I look for anything in here? Search, find anything. Okay, it's customer dot, oops, created. That's the list of type. Customer created occurs whenever a new customer is created. Okay. The customer object. Create a customer. So we have our ID, the customer, a description, Maybe I have to do it by email address. I mean, to be fair, the email addresses must match. So, yeah, yeah. And I keep reading that you can pass in metadata. So I guess, which is kind of like a placeholder for things. So I would imagine that I could probably put something in there. Maybe, I don't know. Okay, I tell you what. Let's just continue down using the email address for now. So what I'm going to do is just get rid of, change this to be, I think it was custom. Oh, now I'm getting confused. I think this was customer email. There we go. So let's use that for now. Customer email. Customer email. All right. So we'll do working on, and then obviously these logs won't be available. So find, and will be different. This is just for my debugging purposes at the moment. So we find a user by there, and then what we can do is, let's put that down here, let's put that down there, and we can do user gets ID gets toString. All right. Okay, so then this check down here, so let's get rid of that for a second. We don't need that. This check down here checks whether there isn't if there is a Stripe customer, and if there isn't a Stripe customer, it creates one, and if there isn't one, it skips over. I think that's correct. This gets the plan. Now I'm not happy with this either, because it's searching for a plan by the ID, by the nickname, which is pretty rubbish. So if we were to have a look at what that is that the line item jobby? Yeah, lines data, lines data 01. And we're doing it by nickname, which is, hang on a minute, is it plan? It's plan. It is plan. Okay, so the plan nickname is that one. But I don't want to do that, because that means that there needs to be a relationship between, you know, I'm very careful. I can't change the nickname on Stripe without doing any kind of change here. I think we could probably look for it via product. If there was a product ID that I was aware of on my system, yeah. Let's just triple check something. I'm going to jump into the database, Mo. Let's bring that over there for a minute. I just want to double check something. We'll get into here, and then we'll do. I need to evaluate my Docker shell, and then we need to do. What was I going to do? MySQL. There we go. MySQL. In fact, I don't need to do this, but I will. Use how to code. Well, just because I'm doing it now. I could have looked at the fixtures, but let's just. There we go. How to code. Well, there we go. Describe subscription plan. Okay, I think it's the external ID. So if we did select external ID from Stripe, is it, what did I call it? No, subscription plan. From subscription plan. Aha. Yes, they are. Now, we're looking for plan, aren't we? Plan. We got the price ID. We got the product. Do we have the plan ID? The ID is the price. Is this the thing I did? Is this the? Yeah, I think this is the thing I did the other day in the ENVs. Bear with me a second. I am just gonna have a little look in the old ENVs. So I'll be back in a mo. env.local. Yes, that is correct. That is correct. Let me just tally up, make sure that those compare that with what I've got. Bear with me a second. That's price, and the price of that is... No, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Is that, isn't it? Let's copy that. And then let's go into here and check if that is the... Yes, it is the thing. Although that's somehow come back as the yearly price. That's... I swear I did monthly there. Okay, I'm just going to move them over. What I'm going to do in data fixtures, in subscription plan fixture, my external name why is that not being set? External ID, here we go, in Stripe plan, ENV Stripe plan, internal name. Internal name. I see now. Okay, so that needs to be set to... bear with me a minute. Bear with me. I'm trying to marry all the things together. Here we go. Pricing. Stripe. Aha. So that would be not that file, this file, not that file, this file, that would be price, Stripe price, and that would be that, which would be this, and that over there would be Stripe underscore. Yes, I think that's correct. Okay. So, sorry about that. I think what I'm going to do is rebuild the database, jump back into this, and then this should be changed, and it should marry up to this. So we're going to just do, let's just, why not? Let's create a new shell, why not? I like my shell. Actually, I could do it up there. Let's make some room. Let's do it up here. Have I evaluated my shell on here? This one though. Eval. There. Yes, I have. Right. I need to do make db test rebuild. I've updated my fixtures. Whoa. That wasn't meant to happen. Give me a second. Oh dear, I've screwed up my ENVs. I have. Right. Please tell me that's done now. Let's try that one more time. Test rebuild. So this will drop the database, it will run the migrations, and it will add the fixtures in. What I've just changed. And you can see all those go nuts. Put in the test password. So that then dumps the file out, which means that the next time I run my integration tests, it uses that dump file as a sort of a place, as a, what am I trying to say? As a snapshot to rebuild the database from. If I was to do this now, yeah, they're all changed. Whoa, 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 sweet. Okay, now does this match up? UBY it does. Can I do select external name, external ID, sorry, plus name from subscription plan? That is correct. Monthly, yearly, and free. Okay, that's good. So instead of searching through the nickname, what I should be doing is I should be getting it from here, the ID. So plan ID. So this would be object lines data. So that would be, let me just refresh my memory. That would be object lines data. Then we're in the first one because there is only one line item here. And then that's plan. And then it's ID. There we go. So we'll do external plan ID. There we go. And then we'll do a subscription plan is equal to manager bag, get manager repository. And this is find by external ID, passing in the external plan ID. Yeah, there we go. Now I just want to double check this because it's a while since I've ran that. Okay. I just want to double check I've got a test against this. Integration, we are in the Stripe repository plan. So we go to repository. This is in integration. And we have subscription plan repository test. Yeah. Aha, we do. We've got a test. So repo get repository subscription plan find by external ID is that asset null, and then so that's checking that that doesn't return a plan with that, and then this one should test that there is a plan. I think get repository find by plan ID. Plan ID is plan ID that's being returned, and the plan ID gotcha, that needs to be changed to price. These are the EMVs, so that's price. And that's price as well. Let me quickly run these tests just to be 100% sure that I haven't messed anything up. So what's the that's the group. So we're gonna just from here we're gonna well I do need to get into the container because I only want to run this one test. So we go into here and then we do bin console codecep, sorry, because I use codeception. Run integration -g, and that's the group. Press enter, and oh, I can't spell integration. I don't think integrate. Yeah, I can't spell that. Beaten by my own spelling errors. Story of my life. run integration, and it is this. So -G, paste that in. Right, there we go. Should only run that test. Come on. Come on. Please. There we go. So it's going to run this test but 3 times because it's got those data providers. So that worked. Yay. Okay. Okay, so I know that that works. Right then. Good stuff. Good stuff. So then this gets the current subscription plan and it checks whether the selected subscription plan is the same as the current subscription plan. And if it isn't, then we change it. We go current subscription plan, set plan, and that's the selected subscription plan. And then we save and flush. Else we do that. Okay, I think I'm ready to run this now. What could possibly go wrong? I suppose it's this thing here, isn't it? There we go. Right. Here we go. Hold on to your hats. We're going to press it. That is not what I was looking for. Oh man, why then suddenly do I have no... I rebuilt the database, which means that the events that we've just got from the webhook don't exist anymore. Well done, Pete. Round of applause. Right. Okay. So let's go and do the same thing that we did right at the start of this stream and make an actual subscription. Oh, lordy lord. Totally forgot that would happen. Totally screwed that one up. If I've got time, I'm gonna sort that out today because that's bugging the hell out of me. Right, so test. Let's think. Test. Are we on 6? No, we're on 7. Fine. And we register that. Let's just make sure I'm not screwing anything up here. I don't think I am. That's all good. Yep, looks good to me. All right, let's hit checkout again for the billionth time today. There we go. And let's have a little nosy. What's going on here? Nothing? Okay, fine. Suit yourself. All the 4s, all the 2s. Brilliant. Not my postcode. Subscribe. Ha! I clicked on monthly and yet I've got this back. That's not a monthly charge. Anything coming from here? No. Although that's succeeded. Anything coming from here? Oh, this doesn't fill me full of confidence. Queue report. Oh, man. Was there any errors in the log files? Anything at all? It's not my night, is it? It's not my night. apart from resetting the database, I can't think of why. No, I'm stumped. I don't know why we don't have anything back. Other than Stripe is still processing it and is yet to send me the bits and pieces, because, you know. Oh, here we go. Oh, session expired. Oh no, reconnecting. No, don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. Right, I'm gonna just run this again. This is the problem when you're working with external things. Okay. Charge. Ah, hang on. Things are coming through. Things are coming through. Things are coming through. Charge succeeded. There we go. So I'm not even going anywhere now. These are obviously queued on their end, and they're going through. I'm just being incredibly impatient. But so what I don't really understand, do I wait or do I just do another one? Yeah, we got a payment intent succeeded. I mean, you know, in the real world, when this goes live, I suppose I should be monitoring these more often. Subscription is updated. Invoice created. We're looking for invoice paid. Invoice updated. So these are the things coming from here. Invoice updated. Where it says webhook is invalid is because there is only a select amount of webhooks that I'm looking for, and yet I have told my webhook on Stripe end to send all of the things. So okay, bear with me a minute. I'm gonna just Murphy's having a little barking fest downstairs. So invoice paid. We have invoice paid. So I'm just gonna go down and check on Murphy. Be back in a minute. Okay, so yeah, we got this thing. I've got Murphy here. Let me just see if I can show you. Hello. Can you see him? Good boy. Oh, sorry, just hit the. Good boy. You are a good boy, aren't you? Right, bear with me a minute. I'll let him out. Lol, he was let's bring you over here. He was barking at people sending us spam through the letterbox because he's a good guard dog. All right, so I spy with my little eye something beginning with invoice paid. So if I was to do that now, hopefully we have invoice paid. Woo! Look at that. Boom. Okay, which means now I should be able to run my my script to process these things. So let's just process invoice paid. Right, here we go. Okay, so there we go. Working on, that's the customer ID. Creating Stripe customer, updating the subscription plan to yearly, which is not what I chose, from free. Good. So what I'm going to do is, I can't remember what account that was we logged in as, we created. I suppose what I could do is have a look on the dashboard. Bear with me a mo, and I'll have a look. Give me a second. Not that one. Yeah, give me a minute. I'll have a look. Just logging into the dashboard. View test data. Let's have a look at it's in developers, isn't it? It's in webhooks, and yes, it's that one. It is. Excuse me. Blimey, we've thrown 892 webhook events. Bonkers, isn't it? Right, that's the checkout session completed, and that was completed by. Just want to make sure that those IDs marry up. Those, which we have here. There we go. Ends in 447 or F4 7. There we go. That's the badger, and this is the username. Gotcha. It was test 7. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab that, and I'm going to go into think of the right thing. Here we go. I'm going to log in as this user that we've just created. So I'm going to hit login now. Excuse me. And we'll see what's happened. So I'm going to log in. I think that was the password. I'm using the username as the password. That is the username. That is the thing, isn't it? Right, let's log in. Hopefully we can log in. Come on. Think about it. Yay! We're logged in. Okay, let's go to your account. Now what I've got is it bounces back to the course that you were previously looking at. Let's go back to your account though. I just want to see what's set up on here. Yay! Account type is set to yearly. That is awesome. Now obviously there's not going to be the upgrade button there. That is so cool. Okay, now all I've done at this stage is just change the user's account type, or subscription plan as I call it, from free to yearly. What I haven't done is I haven't done anything to do with the actual billing. So if I go to billing here, we have the first one, which was the free subscription. Now what I'm going to do is just I'm going to hide anything that's free from here, and this should really say, you know, your yearly subscription plan with the total and the fact that it's paid. I've got a feeling this is just hard coded at the moment. Well, no, it's not hard-coded. It's just it's coming off of the free. Whenever you register, you automatically sign up as a free account, and then you get your then you do your checkout. If you want a premium account, yeah, that's correct. So I need to hide the free accounts from here, and also I need to update the billing, the current order summary, to reflect what has happened in Stripe. All I've done through this script at this stage, all I've done is just change the current subscription plan. That's all I've done. I need to actually go in and create a new order summary for that particular user. But there is something a little bit fishy here, because I'm pretty sure I selected monthly and not yearly. So I've obviously not wired something up correctly. Because I'm sure if we had a look at this, monthly was this plan here. And it's using this plan for some reason. Let me just double check on the Stripe end and see if I've wired that up right. Let's go to what am I looking for? Developers. I'm looking for, is it products? There we go. Subscription. I want to look for prices. So the monthly account is the one starting with double R. Oh, they both start with 1 and that. Okay, that's annoying. No. Sorry, bear with me a minute whilst I just check this. Let's go over to. No, it is that. Let me just create a note here. So that was a yearly price. And the yearly price we have set on there. Wait, hang on. Oh, it would help if I selected the right one, right? I mean, right, that's the yearly job, I think. Yeah. Ends in SCK. SCK is yearly, so that is correct. Okay, so, and I'll just, whilst I'm here, I will just check the monthly. Ends in UBY. Yep, that's good. Right, so this means that probably my EMVs aren't set up correctly. Ah, dear. Alright, so give me a second whilst I have a little screw around with that. We are going to go to the env.local, and it is that's the yearly one, and that's the monthly one. Okay, so the EMVs are correct. That's annoying. What else could go wrong then? Right, so this. Does this mean that my my data fixtures are wrong? Probably. Let's have a look at that. Plan fixture. So it's right. Plan internal name. Internal name is monthly. Monthly. Internal name is monthly. That looks like it's fine. Gosh, that's annoying. I'm sure I clicked monthly. I'm now doubting myself. I'm doubting whether I did that. You know what this calls for? This calls for another another one to be created. Subscription frequency, that's fine. It's this thing here. It's using the Stripe price and then it's getting the internal name. The internal name is monthly or yearly, and the yearly has the right pricing fixture. Oh wait, is it the pricing fixture? It could be the pricing fixture. Yes, it could be the pricing fixture. Pricing fixture. Ah, no. That's all good. That's all correct. Okay, right. I suppose what I should do is actually try it and see. So we're going to do log out. What else could it be? It could be the fact that when we hit this watch course, when we actually select, so this would be monthly, this would be yearly. It's possible that in the checkout controller, I have them flipped around the wrong way. It's highly possible that that is the thing, and that this is going to. Oh, it's going to register, of course it is. So we go to security controller and we go down to the register. We have free, monthly, and yearly. We're getting the plan, which is correct. We're finding by the internal name, subscription plan. Finding by the internal name. So unless the internal name's wrong, let's do on here. Let's do. Let's bring that out a little bit so I can actually see what I'm doing. Select. Name, external ID. I think it's internal name. Yeah, they're all good. So we got monthly, monthly, yearly, yearly, and free and free. That makes sense. So find by internal name. Look at that. That goes to internal name. What we need to do is set this to be uppercase. So we need to do, because the internal names are all uppercase, aren't they? Yeah. And I'm also going to trim it as well. Right. Anyway, let's see if we can get this to run. Well, I'll refresh the page for a second, and we will try and do monthly. So we hit GoPro on this, and we register again. So like test, I don't know. Are we on 9? I don't know. No, we're not. 1904. Okay, let's register now. Monthly. Okay, so it's monthly. All right, I'm gonna just double check the logic in here. Right, if monthly, we get the monthly price. Stripe monthly price ID. Now there's obviously another thing that could potentially change this, and that is the parameter bags. So, you know, the services. So if we go to config, that's where it lives. Services. We have monthly price. Oh, look at that. Oh, I think I found you. Ah, look at that. That's wrong, isn't it? That should be, that's yearly, that's monthly, that's monthly, that's yearly. I think I found it. I think I found it. So that needs to go over there. That needs to change. We need to change that to be yearly. What a moron, eh? Problem with the configuration. All right. So, what was I doing? I need to come out of you. I'm going to go all the way back to the start. And then I'm going to run it through again. I think that's probably a safe thing to do. Oh dear. Name only word characters are allowed. Really? What have I done? Oh, I've added an extra thingy. You know, one of those curly things. Whatever you call them. My brain has gone to mush. A bracket. A brace. Who knows? Let's refresh. It's been such a long day. I was up at 6. No, I wasn't. I was up at 6:30. And I tried to get encouraging myself to get out of bed. And then I went for a run about 7:30 with Murphy for 3 miles. And then I got back, been working ever since, putting out fires. And then on to this. Right. What are we doing? We're choosing monthly. That's what we're choosing. Yeah. Right. I will sort that out, I promise. So we're going to go test. I think we're now at number 11. 1904. And we're going to pass that in and we'll hit register. I have yeah. I also need to make dinner as well, as my stomach is reminding me. How to go well, check out monthly. Okay, that's good. So far so good, right? So we hit checkout now. So far so good. And you know what we'll do is after this we'll do the yearly one. Okay, so that's correct. That's cool. That's the right price. Well, it will change when it goes live, obviously, but for testing purposes. Name on card. And whatever that London thing is, there we go. Let's hit subscribe. Right, let's go back to here. We should see that we, at some point, we should see a bunch of things coming through here. And through here. Okay, that's, we got a tick on there. Anything happening? We've landed to the checkout success, and then I suppose we just have to wait. Really? What I will do, another thing that I haven't done, obviously that I definitely need to do is once I've processed the event, I need to say that it's been processed. So I don't reprocess the event. Yeah. Right, so we just need to wait for those to go through now, I suppose. At the mercy of Stripe. Essentially what I want is that count to go to 2 because we'll have another thing in here, and then I will run the script again, and I'm hoping that that will be monthly. So updating subscription to monthly from free, that's the goal. I can never tell when it's just not working or whether I'm being so impatient. I'm going to just run this again. I'm going to run it again. I'm just going to see what happens once it's been... There we go. My else conditions are working. So user is already a Stripe customer, skipping. Subscription plans are the same, skipping. Marvelous. Okay, so this works with... this is kind of not a self-healing script, but it kind of acknowledges the fact that we don't have to do the things again. So if this was to run again, then it would just skip over stuff. I suppose what we can do whilst we wait is look at the whole billing side of this thing. So in the sense of creating the subscription, because all we've done is we've adjusted the plan, but what I want to do is not only adjust the plan, well, I'll tell you what, let's do a little bit of refactoring. That's probably a good idea, right? Otherwise this script is going to get ginormous. So let's look at it from the top. What is it doing? We are finding the events. So I think the execute doesn't really have, well, it has, in my opinion, far too many responsibilities. So I'm going to put that into its own little command. Sorry, into its own little function, method. I'm getting tired. And we'll call this get events, and it's going to return an array of events. Like this, right? So we've, oops, sorry. So the status manager, that's what we need, isn't it? That one. Whoop. And we'll return the events. Okay. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What's all that? So webhook manager. Oh, okay, I'm going to need that too. Of course. And then events here. We could just return the whole thing. Yeah. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a parameter in here, or an argument. And in here, well, parameter, I'm going to have status, and which is going to be a string, and the status is going to default to new, like that. Okay. Okay, so this means that this here can go. So if we do events is equal to this get events. Now, by default, the status is new, which is fine. Although, look at this, we've changed this up. That's not good. We've got status, status, status. No. Let's do internal status name. There we go. There we go. It's more explanatory as well. Okay, so now we got the events. Then we count the events and we say we have these events found. Then down here we have our little output prefix. This puts in the. This is what I like to do when I do scripts where there could be, you know, tens, thousands, hundreds of things. I like to say that we're working on one of something. So imagine that would be like 500. Then you could quickly identify, looking at the logging, where it's got to in the run. Okay, so I think I'll leave that. That's only one line, so I'll leave that. And then we've got the payload. We're unserializing the payload and we're getting the data. Now, I think this also needs to be in its own little method. So let's do that. Protected function. We're going to call this unpack payload. And oops, what do we give it? And what we return an array, but what do we give it? We give it the events. That's what we give it. Event, like so. Okay. That's what we need. And we'll just return that. There we go. Unpack payload. So we'll get rid of these three lines. So we'll do data is equal to this. Whoops. Unpack payload, passing in the event. There we go. Okay, am I dealing with the customer email? Yes, I am dealing with the customer email. Okay. I think what I'll also do is I will create another method down here called not defunction. I feel defunct. Public function, and we'll do get customer from payload. Get user from payload, that's even better. So we pass in the array, which it is now, which is the payload. And down in here, I would like to just do this. Am I doing anything with the stripe? I am doing that. Okay, fine. All right, I want to grab that and I want to put that up there into here. Obviously change that to be that. That's the customer email. This means that I only have to change that if I need to. Okay, that's fine. So that's the customer email that we've just grabbed, and we're going to find the user. So just grab that from here. So this is going to return a user. So there we go. Now obviously I need to put in checking and everything, but that's all good. Okay, so now we have user is equal to this, oops, an equal sign would be handy, wouldn't it? This get user from payload. There we go. Passing in the payload, which is the data. I'm going to rename that to be payload. There we go. Payload. I need to rename that to be payload, and we need to change that to there. Okay, fine. Fine. Okay. I don't like that. I suppose, and that's the payload too. Don't like that. That can be refactored. Let's refactor that to be get selected pay. Is it selected subscription plan? Get. Now, what I'm going, the idea behind all of this, get selected subscription. Is I'm going to put this in a service. So I'm just setting up the methods, but what I'm going to do is once I've decided upon a service, decided upon the methods, I'm then going to create a service, pass all those methods in, create those methods as public, and then inject the service into the command. I mean, there we go. It'll look so much nicer and read so much better. So get selected subscription plan from payload, passing in the payload. This is going to be all of this jazz. So let's pass that into la la la. Is this, isn't it? I think, have I literally just copied that from Finebot? Yes, I have. Okay, that's cool. So paste that in, and we're going to grab, we'll shorten this up. So this is the subscription plan manager is equal to that. Subscription plan manager is now this. We now get the repository, and then we get the external plan ID from the payload, and then we pass that into here, and then we return it. There we go. So this is now subscription plan. There we go. So get selected subscription plan from payload. Let's shorten that because that's huge. Get subscription plan from payload. There we go. Okay, so what was this? This was this thing, wasn't it? So we can get rid of that, and this here, we can pass that in to this. Get subscription plan for payload, passing in the payload. Whoopsie. There we go. That's better. Let's put this up here with the user stuff. I suppose what I also could do is just put all of this up here. You know, let's get all the variables set. Let's deal with get all the variables together. There we go. And then do all the conditional logic below. And really, these could be in step commands, steps, couldn't they? They could be. I could put this in a sort of an architectural thing, design pattern. That's the word I'm looking for. Okay, so we got the output here. It's working on la la la, and then that's fine. But the thing I got to be careful with when I do this is to just make sure I'm not creating any undefined variables. What's going on here? I don't know why that's gone pink. Looks fine to me. Right, so we unpack the payload. We get the Stripe customer ID. I'm not happy. I'm not happy with doing all of this in the loop. So protected function, just because in the future, if things change, I just have to change that one method. I don't have to hack about with the actual loop. So even though that this is nice and small, I'm still going to do it. So public function get customer ID. Is it customer ID that I'm getting? Stripe customer ID. Get yeah, let's do Stripe customer ID from payload. Again, passing in an array of payload. And then when I come to writing tests for this, I'll be testing these individual things. Obviously, when it's in its own service, these will be public, and I'll be just passing in random payloads. Anyway, return that. Now it's always going to be that, isn't it? So that would be a string. Okay. So this is this get Stripe customer ID from payload, passing in the payload. There we go. So we get the Stripe customer ID, we get the user, we get the current subscription plan, and we get the selected subscription plan. Once we've got all those things, we then output this. We then check whether the user doesn't have a Stripes customer. If we don't have one, we then create that, and we do the right. We say what we do. Else we do something else. Is there something? Is there a way I could deal with that? Like, is there a way I could get rid of that else statement? I suppose there could be. Yeah, I reckon I could do like message is equal to the default message. Oh dear, what's going on there? Oh yeah. That's the default message. Get rid of the U. We create a new message variable here. Which is that. And then underneath this, we pass in message. Ha ha ha, nice. Nice. Now, so I can do the same down here. But now I'm thinking maybe instead of this, put this in a function and return the message. So what do I need for this to work? We need the user and we need the Stripe customer ID. So if I think about this, we need to have protected handle Stripe customer. All right, that needs to be a function, obviously. It returns a string, that is the message that we're using. Let's just move those for a bit. So we need the user that we've got, and we also need the Stripe customer ID, which I think is a string. So we're dealing with this thing here. So let's just copy that for a second and bring that up there like so. Okay, so we need the output. The output prefix, that's what we need. We're going to return the message. I need to handle that. Output prefix, what's going on with there? The output prefix is built like this. Okay, so let's create another method then. Public function, I'm making this up, create output prefix. So with the output prefix, what we need is the count and the total count. So we'll do current count, or counter, there we go, and total count. Now they're both integers. I'm going to set these as defaults, so that's going to be 0. No, I won't. No, let's not overcomplicate that. Int. There we go. So this here is going to go there. So we've got the counter, and we're going to return that as a string. Now, why is that? Oh, because of the equal sign, sure. Okay, so that generates this thing here. Is it create? I forget. Create output prefix. There we go. Passing in the count and the total count. There we go. Now the question is, how do I get this into there? Well, I suppose I could create it as a... No, I'm not going to create it as a class property. That's just daft. Let's not do that. Output prefix. I could pass it in, I suppose, as an optional thing. I suppose I could do that, couldn't I? Oh, all right. Bear with me a mo. Murphy is telling me that someone is at the door, so bear with me a second. Okay, so let's get back to it. I've totally lost my trail of thought. I was doing something about output prefix. I understand. Right. Something to do with... Right, yes. That's it, output prefix. Why am I out of breath? I have just sat up. Stood up. I can't even talk. Output prefix. Right. Output prefix, and it's this, isn't it? Dealing with this. We're getting the message. Yeah. Okay. Let's put in string output prefix. Output prefix, and we'll just leave it like that. We'll give it a default. That's sensible. So this we're gonna. Oh, I haven't actually created it. So message is equal to this handle Stripe customer, passing in the user and the Stripe. I'm lost. Hang on a minute. What was that doing? Stripe customer ID. Right, where have I got that set? Ah, it's there. Gotcha. Okay, so passing in the user, the Stripe customer ID, and the prefix. Woo! There we go. Yeah. Okay. I mean, yeah, I could actually just write this as a single line into there, but whatever. That's fine. All right, I'll do the same thing for this thing as well. We'll handle the subscription plan. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to paste it down here. So what do I need for this then? Let's grab all of that. Paste this all in there. There we go. We need a subscription plan. Selected subscription plan. So we need subscription plan. And we need the current subscription plan. Hang on a minute. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, hang on. Hang on. Subscription plan is this get from payload. That returns a subscription plan, and this get subscription plan, current subscription plan, is a subscription or null. I see. So selected subscription plan and subscription, and this is going to be nullable. Subscription, and we need the output prefix. Okay, so that is that. This should be current subscription, and it's nullable because, you know, there is a chance that there isn't a subscription plan set yet. Current subscription, that goes into there. I think that's what that was. All right. And then we need to do this sort of the same dealio as we've done with this. So let's do default message is equal to this message here. That gets rid of the else block. And then we can do message in here is equal to that. Change that to this. Get rid of that. There we go. Change this to that and that. And then return message. There we go. Scroll. Get rid of all of this jazz. Don't need that. So, I suppose this variable should be called output Stripe customer or something, I don't know. Get rid of all this. All of this. and then this would be output subscription plan. Output come on. I've lost the ability to type, which isn't great when you're a programmer. Subscription. There we go. No. Start again. Is equal to this handle subscription plan, passing in our selected subscription plan and our current subscription plan. Although I don't think that's right. I think that's get subscription. It's current subscription, not the plan. I'm going to confuse myself if I call the same things different things. There we go. And then we do a write and output here. To me, that is much easier to read, personally, because what we're doing here, we're unpacking the payload. We're then getting the Stripe customer ID from the payload. We get the user from the payload. We get the subscription from the user. We get the subscription plan from the payload. So that sets up all our variables. And then we handle the Stripe customer and we handle the subscription plan. Now, if I had any time this evening, which I don't think I have because I really need to go and make my dinner. That's the only problem with doing these streams late. Is what I would do is I would convert all of these to public functions, which I won't yet, and I would create a service, and then put this. I would probably call it webhook handler for, I don't know, paid invoice, something like that. I don't know what I would call it, but or maybe invoice paid event handler or something like that. It's an event handler, right, for the paid invoices. And I would be putting all of this stuff, not necessarily the events, because this is probably more geared towards the actual console command, but these things: unpack payload, get user from payload, get subscription plan from payload, and get customer ID from payload, handle Stripe customer, and handle subscription plan. They would all go in that service. I would inject it into the command, and then instead of calling this, I would then go this, and it would be something like handler, and then unpack payload, blah, 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 blah. I mean, let's go and see if this works, right? We've done a lot of coding, but we haven't actually done a lot of checking. So let's go and have a look at our commands and see if there's any events that have come through. Doesn't look like it, does it? Oh dear. I'm pretty sure. Please be more than one. Please be more than one. I love you forever if you're more than one. Come on. Oh, please. Why is there only one event? I'm gonna have a little cry, and then I'm going to close that off and then do another listen. Right. And then what I'm going to do is create another thing. There's obviously some misstep going on. Maybe I was logged out by some random thing. I don't know. I'm just going to log in. I'm going to kill this and I'm going to log in again, because that's what worked last time. So bear with me a second whilst I deal with this. Stripe login, that's what I want to do. Okay, and then we go over to here. we allow the access for that. Okay, now it's done. Right, good. Okay, so I'm logged in to Stripe, and now I can do a listen. There we go. Okay. Right, let's just try it again. It's here, isn't it? Right. Let's click on any one of these, it doesn't matter. Watch that course. Come on. Yep, doesn't matter. Either one of those two. Stupid message comes up. Right, test. I think this is now. I think we're moving in the realms of 13, I believe. 19 is today. 04. You can tell I'm getting a little bit. There's only so many times you can look at the same form. Testing.howtocodewell.net. And we'll use that as the password. And we'll hit register. Da 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 da. Yes. Right. Right. Hello, Stripe. All the 4s, all the 2s. Hit subscribe. Then we pray to the Stripe lords that we get. Oh, look, now it's starting to come through. Excellent stuff. We're looking for invoice paid. We got invoice updated, invoice finalized, invoice paid, which means that we should have 2 in the queue. Come on. Oh, hang on, wait. Wait. We have to wait until all of these get returned. This is just making requests. I actually have to deal with pulling them back. Gotcha. Okay, so it's dealing with all the stuff here. There we go. Right, Stripe event report. Here we go. Invoice paid. We got 2. Right. Okay. Let me just do. We'll run this. And we'll see what happens. 2 events found. There we go. There we go. So the first event we were working on. This is the new event that's come through. We've created the Stripe customer. We've updated the subscription plan from monthly to free. And then on the second event, when we're working on... I need to sort that out. Why is that? I'm missing a prefix. Aren't I? I'm missing a prefix there. And there. Huh. And then on the second event, we know that we've already got a customer, so we skip. And we already have the same plan, so we skip. Let's just... it's something to do with... I'm not dealing with my... No, I am dealing with the message. What? Maybe I've just put it in as a blank thing. Let's see. Where are this? Where are this? Just lost the ability to speak. Let's put this in here. There we go. No. Come on. Right. After this, I am going to make my dinner. All right. Let's save that. I think tonight I'm going to have some fish. There we go. Fish and chips. Homemade chips. Not homemade fish. Right. Handle subscription, all these jazz. Right, let's see if I can run this again. And what I'm looking for now is that we get the right prefix. The right prefix is coming through. Let's press enter. So it should now go 2 events found. There we go. Bingo. The reason why I like doing these prefixes is that I can quickly see that this is one event, and it's one event of 2. So if you've got a massive script, and I have been working on massive scripts. if you're working on massive scripts, it's always good to know where you are in relation to the end of it. Yeah. So then if someone says, how many things have you got left to do on the script, you can say, I have, I'm on the 400th one of 2000. Anywho, I'm rambling now. That's good. I'm liking that. We've done a bit of refactoring as well, which is always nice. I like doing that. I do want to put this in a service, as I keep saying, which is something I'll probably do tomorrow night. But I'm gonna go and grab some food. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Hey, I'm sorry. I've just just looking at the chat. I'll get some food in a minute. Let me have a look. Michael is asking, do you have any advice for people who are interested in starting to code? What do you think are the biggest challenges whilst learning to code or looking to enter web development? Whoa, that is an interesting question. Let's get into the talking mode. Hello, Mike. I can't move that. Let's move that over there. Okay, so do I have any advice for people who are interested in starting to code? What do you think are the biggest challenges whilst learning to code or looking to enter web development? Okay, so number one, off the top of my head, let's bring that over here so I can actually see it whilst looking at you guys. The biggest challenge, let's just zoom in a little bit. The biggest challenge I think people have is being overwhelmed by the amount of stuff. I'm very conscious that when people watch me code, they're like, "Oh my god!" We've had I've had people on, especially on Twitch, where people go, "I'm overwhelmed by just seeing what you do," and that's the flip side of people who do what I do and stream, because the thing is, I've been doing this for over 20 years. So I'm obviously a sort of a senior level, and I think that when people are new to this and they see seniors write code, refactor code, test code, do all sorts of stuff, go into the terminal, go into the database, do all sorts of bits and pieces, it can be incredibly overwhelming for new coders who get on board. And the thing is that it's total baby steps, right? This is like I said, I've been doing this for such a long time that it has become sort of a natural rhythm, and the natural rhythm come over time. So I think the biggest challenge is being completely overwhelmed. I mean, let's just throw a stone into any kind of random web development field. Let's say front end. The front end devs these days need, which is something that I never learned when I was when I started web dev. I mean, I didn't even know what the command line was. But now you see all the tutorials, they're all talking about, you got to use npm, which means that you need to have some general understanding of getting into the terminal. Graphics designers need to know CSS. They didn't need to know that beforehand. Back in the day when I was writing code for Netscape Navigator, that kind of stuff never really happened. It was just here's a PSD, go and slice it up. and create a table, a HTML table with all your images in it. Now we can do so many things with CSS to move blocks about, flex and all that jazz. So I do think that the biggest challenge is being overwhelmed. And because you're overwhelmed, you don't really know what to do. And you only have a finite amount of time in a day. So it's like you can easily get overstretched. You can easily go, okay, today I'm going to do 1 hour of this thing, and then another hour of this thing, and another hour of this thing. And those three things on the surface are very unrelated, but in some random niche-y kind of experience, they are related. But because you're a junior, because you're fresh, you're not at that level of relating those bits and pieces, if you know what I mean. So like, front-end devs, in my opinion, shouldn't worry about the command line until you're ready to learn about the command line, right? So it's also knowing what not to learn. There's like loads of technologies that have just passed me by, and I've just been okay with it. So it's navigating those waters and knowing what to drop and what not to learn. Like, believe it or not, I was taught Java, ActionScript, God rest its soul, ActionScript, HTML, PHP, Python. No, I self-taught Python, sorry. I self-taught C, Java. Have I said Java? Yeah. Oracle. I was taught Oracle. Those technologies I don't deal with anymore, and I'm more than happy to just let them go. I picked up PHP. I was taught PHP, and I just kind of fell in love with it, I suppose, at that time. Although now I lean more towards the Python, just because I like the language better. I hope that's answered your question. I went into a bit of a rant there. I hope that kind of answered the question. It's an interesting one. I think I'm going to go away and think about that a little bit more, because there's bound to be more than one challenge for new developers. Must be. I can't really think right now. My brain has gone to mush. I suppose. I mean, you also ask about advice. What advice should I give people who are interested to start learning to code? I think my biggest advice is to do what you find is fun. If you're interested in building a computer game, build a computer game. And also, don't worry about the language. Don't worry about the framework. Don't worry about the trendy thing that people are talking about right now. Just do whatever you feel comfortable doing and have fun with it. The thing is, the best thing a developer can get from being a developer, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, is having that sense and that feeling of being passionate about what you do. Enjoying what you do, having that level of enjoyment. This shouldn't be one of those jobs where people just, look forward to the end of the day. It's not menial work. It's not work that it should be work that challenges you and fulfills you, and work that you enjoy. You should be enjoying solving problems. Yes, it's incredibly stressful, and there can be a lot of, time-sensitive issues. There could be a lot of issues with all sorts of crazy, wonderful bugs, but you should revel in that. You should enjoy that. You should embrace that. You should become, you should live and breathe it, in my opinion. And you can't instill a passion if you try and do too many things at once, because essentially what you do is you end up learning to hate it. So long story short, my advice is to try and do something, build something that you find enjoyable doing. It shouldn't be a chore. This shouldn't be a chore. And it's okay when you're really fresh off the blocks. It's okay to just pick a programming language and run with it. It's okay to, because the thing is, at that stage of your career, well, you don't have a career. You know what I mean? It's like, I do PHP work because I get paid for it. I like doing PHP work. That's a bonus. But, you know, there are a lot of things that I do and have done over the years, which all sorts of people still have the same experience, that they have to do things, the stuff that they don't really want to do, but they have to do it because they get paid for it. I mean, I love what I do. I love the clients that I work with. They're great. But there's always some times when you're working on a particular issue or a bug and you really don't want to do it. It's like, ugh. As a junior, you have the ability and flexibility to do only what you want to do. And that is something that when you're in a full-time employment or a contractor, as I am, there are times in which you need to do stuff because you've been told that you need to do stuff. Does that make sense? So I suppose it boils down to just enjoy it, have fun with it, you know, take a break from. If you find that you're getting stressed, if you find that you're getting nowhere, take a break. Come back to it later. Yeah. Anywho, I must go and get some dinner. Thank you ever so much for watching. Happy coding, everybody. And I'll see you on Thursday for the podcast. And hey, we might even talk about this a little bit more. I don't know. It's a great question. Thank you then, Mike. See you again soon. Cheers. Now I need to find the off button. Here we go. Stop.